Voted that you wanted me to kind of lay out and show you what one of my physical therapy sessions looks like so I'm specifically going through what I did with a 4-year-old on my caseload. I get feedback from her mom that she loves practicing everything that we did and showing her big sister when she gets home from school all of the fun activities that we did, and she does not look at it as work or exercise or therapy or anything like that. She just thinks she gets this awesome one-on-one playtime with me every other week. So that is like my entire goal for all of my therapy sessions, is just that it is structured around play. So the specific things that our goals are focused on with her is balance, core strengthening. We want functionally for her to be able to navigate stairs. So the preschool that she goes to has stairs to get up and down. And right now she's not able to go up and down the stairs reciprocally. So that means 1 foot on each step. And she also can't go down reciprocally. And then also some endurance. We want her to be able to keep up with her peers, and so she fatigues easily. So just overall endurance, strengthening, and balance, as well as adding some coordination in there as well. So we started our session with an activity that I love and all kids have so much fun with, and that is the stomp rocket. So this is amazing to work on our single leg balance, which is something she needs to have to be able to go up and down stairs, right? To step over things and all of that. So with Stomp Rocket, doing our blasts off, and from there, we transitioned into working on the peanut ball, which I don't have with me right now, but the peanut ball, if you haven't seen one, it's like a exercise ball, but it has kind of a dip in the middle and it's shaped like a peanut. And so we initially were having her sit straddling the peanut ball, and we call the peanut ball our horse. And so she named our horsey after one of the My Little Ponies, and we worked on riding the horsey fast and then slow. And so she's bouncing up and down on it as if she were riding a horse. And by practicing fast movement and slow movement, we're working on grading our movements and also endurance, if we can see how long she can ride it fast. And then if she needs to slow down for a little break. We also use my trusty exercise band as the horse's reins. And so she holds the horse's reins and I control it from the other side, giving her some resistance. And then I also pull her while I'm holding onto this side to side. So she's really activating her core. And then we obviously have to slow the pony down when it's time to stop. And so I'm giving her resistance and she's leaning back. And again, we're working on those ab muscles and core strengthening. Our horsey, I always ask her where we're going, and we always make up a story about it. So again, it's about play, and we're using her imagination and getting to name it and all of that. Next, we moved on to doing some ball play while she was still on the horsey. And this is my weighted ball and rotating. So trunk rotation is another thing that she struggles with. And so she was rotating her trunk to throw it to me, because I was off to one side, and then catch it, and then rotating to the other side and throwing it to her mom. And then her mom was throwing it back for her to catch it. And then we transitioned to me rolling the ball to her. So she had to reach down to grab it and then turn to the other side and throw it to her mom. And so again, look at the muscles we're activating as she's doing that. We're doing trunk rotation, we're strengthening the obliques, the core, all of that. Next, we transitioned to using one of my favorite little toys, which is these matching dinosaurs from Learning Resources. And they look like this. So they're all different colors and they come apart. So we can work on color matching, making up stories about our dinosaurs. They also each have a different shape on the back, so we can talk about shapes. And we started out using our dinosaurs on my favorite little monkey balance board. But the monkey board, here we're working on more balance. And so I had her standing on it, facing me, and we took all the dinosaurs apart and put them on one side, and she had to reach down and pick, you know, a tail end and a head end. And so she was reaching down, picking up two, and we decided to make silly dinos. So instead of actually matching the colors, she chose ones that were opposite or didn't match. And then she would stand up, push them together. So we're working on bilateral, bimanual coordination using both hands together. And then when the dinosaur was put together, she would reach down and put it in a pile on the opposite side. And now we went back to our peanut ball. Again, getting multiple uses out of these items. And this time she went over the peanut ball on her tummy. So picture she's on her tummy over the peanut ball and supporting her weight on her hands. And now we had all of our little dinosaurs that were put together. This was our dinosaur cave. So the dinosaur cave went a little bit further away from her. And then we had the pile of our put together dinosaurs. Half of them were on one side of her and half of them were on the other side of her while she's on her belly. And she had to walk out on her hands and take a dinosaur and walk him into the cave. Okay, so this is a very intense core strengthening activity and one that we noticed she struggled with today. So Mom and I were commenting that she tended to walk out a couple steps on her hands and then would go down onto her forearms because she was not able to control the position of being fully up on extended arms. So that's a great thing that her mom noticed and something that we can continue to work on. And as she gets stronger, hopefully she can take a few more steps out fully on her arms before going down to her forearms. But again, we made sure to have some on either side. So we're working on her reaching and holding herself up on one hand. So weight shifting and picking up a dinosaur, and weight shifting to the other side, picking up a dinosaur, and then walking them in to put them inside the cave. We were done with our dinosaurs. They were all back inside the cave. So we put those away. And I let her choose the next activity. So I kind of like to find a balance between therapist-led and child-led activities. So I let her pick something out of my bag, and she picked the koosh ball. And anything that she picks, I can come up with some sort of activity that progresses towards our goals. So with the koosh ball, since we had already kind of worked on tossing the weighted ball back and forth, and she's not quite to the point where she can catch something this small. So the way I had her use it is we actually stood up, and because it's such a fun sensory item, she automatically started exploring it with her feet. And she had socks on at the time. So I said, why don't we take your socks off so you can really feel how fun the koosh ball is? And then why don't we stand up and see if we can make shapes on the floor with the koosh ball? So I had her stand up, and again, here's our single leg stance, balancing on one leg, progressing to going up and down the stairs. I had her stand on one leg while her other foot was on top of the koosh ball. And then I had her practice like drawing a small circle. And again, so here's her foot and here's the floor. She's using the koosh ball to make a circle on the floor, small circle, big circle. And then we went back and forth. So I had her give me some shapes that I had to make, and she told me I had to make a heart. So of course she gives me the difficult one. But then so I stood up and did it with her. So again, it's not me just telling her to do stuff. We're really interacting and making it a game and going back and forth. So that was the koosh ball. Next was, here they are, the feet. And for some reason, kiddos love these little footprints. It's the most simple thing to have in my bag, but they're really engaging for kids and they have a fun texture on them. So again, something we can do barefoot, and then colors, all sorts of things we can do with them. And since we had just worked on all of our strengthening and balance, now we progressed to the stairs, right? So I took the different color footprints and I put one on each stair. So we're giving her a visual of like where I want her feet to go. And I did them all the way up the stairs. And so we did up and then we did down. And when we get to the bottom stair, we stop, and I had 2 footprints on the floor at the very bottom. And then that's her visual cue to do a 2-foot jump from the bottom stair onto the floor. So she actually had great fun with that, and I could see an improvement in her jumping down from the bottom step. So we told her, how about we make that a fun thing that you do? Every time you go downstairs, you get to jump off of the bottom stair. And she has a little sister, so we said, well, why don't you also help teach your sister how to jump off of the stairs? So again, we're just incorporating it into their daily routine. Their playroom's in the basement, so she's always going up and down those stairs. So how can we kind of make it a thing that they can carry over after my session with them? All right, so this sounds like a lot, but it's a full hour, so we're having as much fun as we can. And let's see, the last thing is that she wanted to do balloon play, because we've done that before. And I blew up one balloon, and we worked on tossing it up in the air and then catching it. So again, this is, like I said, her hand-eye coordination is not quite ready for the small koosh ball. A balloon allows for a slower approach of the ball, so that her visual tracking of the balloon, she has enough time to ready her hands and to catch it. So instead of me throwing it to her, I also had her be in control and toss it up, and then she needs to visually track and then catch with her hands. So while we were playing with the balloons, she also found a latex glove in my bag, and she wanted us to blow up the latex glove. I was like, that's an awesome idea. How much fun. Have you ever done that at the doctor's office where you get to blow up one of the medical gloves? And so we blew it up, and we had a big pink hand to play with. So my wheels are turning. How can we use this to further our therapy goals? So we did high fives. So I would hold the glove up for her first to reach up on her tiptoes and give it a high five, and then to jump up and give it a high five. And then she got to do it for me, and she got to go in all sorts of crazy positions that I had to get in to give a high five. And last but not least, she loves my, let's see, Move book. And for any parent or therapist out there, you absolutely need this book. And I'll try and show you a few pages, but it really encourages a lot of fun exploration of different movements. And so for her and I, we really like to end our sessions with this book, because it's just a fun way to kind of book in the session, so she knows that we're winding down, it's time for us to be done, and she gets to kind of do some silly stuff at the end. And so each page of the book tells them to do a different movement using the book. So this one, she's gonna use it to row. And again, look at that rotation, working on our obliques. This one, she has to roar and stomp like a dinosaur. So think about big dinosaur steps, how long their feet have to be off of the ground. So are we working on single leg standing? Absolutely, we're doing dinosaur stomps. And she gets to stand on one leg like a flamingo. Oh my gosh, is that not what we've been practicing? And then it talks about finding a friend. And every single time when she looks through this hole, it says, look through the middle and find a friend. And she looks through it and she looks at me, because I'm her friend. I'm not her therapist. I'm there to play. And I love that. And so this is always just a really great way for us to end our sessions. Anyways, that is a whole lot of stuff, but I really just wanted you guys to see what a progress through play therapy session looks like, and kind of how I structure it, and how fun it is for the kids, and really just going with the flow and recognizing where they are that day. And if she starts acting like she's tired, then we transition into a new activity, because we've got so many options, and I can modify anything that she's showing interest in to be working towards our goals. So hopefully that was informative for you guys. And if you have any questions about it, or please let me know. I'm happy to do another thing like this, maybe for a different age group or focusing on a different goal. So just shoot me a message and let me know. Bye guys.